Hello everyone, my name is Marion, and I'm once again joined by my good friend Lynn.
Hello.
And welcome back to another episode of Reading Reddit Stories, the show where, I don't know if you know this, but, come here, come close, come here.
That's a bit too close. Let them inch away for a minute. Let them breathe.
We read Reddit stories. Anyways, so once again, this is an episode of r/BestofRedditorUpdates where I got two stories from r/BestofRedditorUpdates that can range from pretty much any place, but then gets reposted to r/BestofRedditorUpdates either because it's either really good or it's really bad, but it's Reddit, so most of the time it's really, really bad. In fact, that's why you come here most of the time, isn't it? You want to hear really fucking terrible stories so that way you can get mad alongside us and feel something in this godforsaken earth.
I'd rather feel happy than misery because most people that are in these situations end up with asinine people who don't know proper decency. Yeah, I'm gonna be binge watching Sleepy Princess after this.
I fucking hate her so much.
I like it.
She kills trees, dude. Like alive trees.
Killed one tree.
With
she
consciousness.
Killed one tree in the okay, that I don't agree with that episode, but for the most part, she's just looking for a nice place to sleep.
Well, you know what? I'd rather watch it than pretty much all anime out there, because all anime, I don't really like it.
Yeah, like there are some I'm okay with, but the majority of them, yeah, I've not found one that doesn't have
Weirdness.
just one anime where it doesn't have to be like just one brain-numbing one without some drama point or service. I just want one good thing in life.
I mean, you can watch Smiling Friends.
I'm just gonna stick to the creepy cat instead.
Well, I'm just gonna go back to watching Smiling Friends and then hoping that there will be an episode where Pim and Charlie kiss. It'll happen one day, even though they both have partners. It's funny though, because I believe Zach Heidel, Psychic Pebbles. I believe he even confirmed that him and Michael, when they saw that fan-made recreation of the scene of like the sacred room, like, and then someone did like a thing where it's like you can see a single frame of them kissing. They were like, "Fuck, we should have done that. That would have been so funny." And I'm just like, you know what, you should have, but you missed it. So, oh well. What were we doing? Oh right.
I just want the tea.
I just wanted my cheese. I'm not accusing you, pleb.
Instead of r/, this is just r/Lynn, Marion go insane.
All right. Let's get to it. Jesus Christ, we gotta get back to
to the point of the episode.
Come on, no fat. He's fat. Come on, we gotta go into it.
The thing is, the audience is like we provide for two very different audiences.
Yeah, you're the very much like the art side where it's like, hey guys, today we're gonna do a speed paint, and yeah, you know, I did this layer and I did this layer, and I'm like.
Yeah, I provide for the so chaotic fandoms of Undertale, now Roblox Presser. I've been abducted into that community. And you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say try to figure it out.
I can't. That's the problem. I can't put into words your community because we both grew up on entirely different sides of the internet.
Like, it's weird because we grew up on like completely different sides, but at the same time it's like I can look at it and go, no, there's some similarities. We just barely missed the mark into meeting each other in the middle.
It's like we go one place and it's like it's on the map. It says it's right here, and then it's like, oh, it's behind the building. We have to go the other way.
Yeah, it's like when I found out that you watched like that Warrior Cats animated of like the Notice Me Senpai thing. And then, like, you're all like, hey, you'll probably find this cringy. And then you showed it to me. I was like, I love this. That's from the music. It's like, there he is, my one and only. And you were like, what the fuck? Why do you know this?
Well, now it's in print on the internet that I saw that.
Oh, come on. I think people at this point definitely know that we're pathetic.
To be fair, I don't know why I was watching when I saw it.
I used to kind of like Yandere Simulator back then, but now I'm like, why the fuck did I
Yeah.
like this? Okay, we're getting off track. We got to get back onto it.
Yes,
I'm
anyways,
so sorry, everyone. All right, let's get
we
back to
should
it.
be talking about this later in the video, not right now. Okay,
I
back
know,
on
You're
track.
right. You're right. I literally just said no fat. You're right. Okay,
Snap.
you're right. All right, let's get to it. Okay. So this first story, once again, comes from r/best-of-redditor-updates, but it was originally posted to r/relationship advice. Trigger warning: destruction of property, domestic violence, child abuse, and gaslighting.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, this one
Can we go
fucking
back to
sucks.
talking about random things?
No, we have to do that. You don't understand, Lynn. People like to watch people get tortured. It's the reason why Jackass was such a huge thing in the 2000s.
But people also like hearing about random rants.
We can do that when we're established and people care about us. Until then, there's only like 3 people who actually show up here every single time we upload a video. Our views have been slowly going down. No one cares about us. They just care about the stories. We are just the vessels that carry us, like our consciousness within our brains.
Oh, well, thank you to the 3 people in the audience right now.
Yeah, shout out to Hacky Puffs and, Hold on. Trisha Stewart. Listen, man. Listen, it's... Okay, we're getting off track again. Okay, whatever. Okay. All right, so this first story is called My 31-year-old female husband, 32-year-old male, has been killing my houseplants with bleach.
Oh, God.
So this was originally posted on March 21st of 2024, so let's get to it. I have many houseplants, and even some that are quite expensive and were gifts from my sister. Within the last 6 months, at least a third of my plants have died. I've had houseplants my whole life due to my late mother's own love of houseplants, and I know a lot about plants. The death of the plants didn't seem related to lack of light or inconsistent watering or lack of nutrients or even root rot. They just died very suddenly. I try not to let it upset me too much because plants die and it was not any of the expensive ones until now. My sister gave me a 5-leaf Monstera albo rooted plant for my birthday 2 months ago. It was beautiful. This morning, I was crying pretty hard about it as I unpotted it and took a look at the roots, and I was looking hard at this plant and roots to see if its death was pest-related, and that's when I noticed the smell. I sniffed my potting mix, and I smelled bleach. The only other adult person in my home with unlimited and unobserved access to my plants is my husband. I wasn't able to talk to him for several hours, but when I could speak to him, I very calmly but directly asked if he had done something to my plants. He denied it at first. I said I smelled bleach in the potting mix of my albo my sister had gotten me, and that the only person that could have put it there was him, and he caved. He said he was putting small amounts of bleach into the fertilizer water jugs I prepare. I started crying. I asked him why. Why would you do this? You know I love these plants. Why would you destroy them? He didn't really answer, nor did he really apologize. The trust I had in him is absolutely gone. I think maybe counseling can help us, but he is the one that did this. But I'm the one that would have to set up the counseling. The angry part of me just wants to be done with the relationship. I know that seems overboard, but as we are married and share a child, but I feel now that I'm not safe around my husband. There is an edit. Edit number 1. I thank everyone for giving advice. The townhome we live in is mine and my sister's, our inheritance from my mother. My husband has a office/den/gaming room that is his personal space, and there are no plants there. There are also no plants in the kitchen. I'm not a plant hoarder, like he has a room for himself. I also have a sunroom, and that is where the concentration of plants live. He has no reason to go in there. It's not access to our backyard or anything. I saw some people said that maybe he is sick of the bugs, but I do not have a fungal gnat problem. I did see one person ask why I did not smell the bleach when I was watering, and I can only say my nose wasn't all up in there, maybe. I also usually use a natural systematic in my fertilizer water called SNS-209, don't know what that is, that smells heavily of rosemary, but I ran out of it last month and haven't replaced it yet. After our convo yesterday, I needed space. I spent the night in my daughter's room on a trundle bed. I am going to text my husband today. He usually communicates easier and opens up more via text rather than face-to-face. I'm going to ask for a reason. I'll see what he says. Edit number 2. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to update on a separate post. My husband won't be welcome into my home anymore, and I need to find a lawyer ASAP on Monday. I did text him, and he admitted again to putting bleach in my fertilizer water. He says it wasn't every jug I ever made, so that explains why it wasn't all my plants dying, but randomly over the past 6 months. His exact words were that I deserved to be knocked down a peg.
Figured as much with these narcissistic assholes.
Yeah. After the text communication, I went home from work early and I entered his office. I usually respect his space absolutely. I don't even go in there to grab dirty dishes. I don't know what I was looking for, but the hundreds of comments said he was working up to something worse or already was doing something else really worried me. I went in there and I found a drawer full of my daughter's dolls and dollhouse furniture and little toys. I bought her that dollhouse for her 4th birthday last year and she has loved it. She has taken such great care of her toys, but something always ends up going missing. And it's always my husband who notices. He lectures her about keeping track of her things and how he won't let her play with her dollhouse if she keeps losing things. He keeps going till she starts to sob. When I hear this was going on, I always take a step back and ask him to just go take a break. I assume he was losing his cool. I told him that this is not how to deal with this with a kid, and he says that he just wants her to grow up responsible. I now see it was just some weird scheme or setup or something. He would steal the stuff and stash it away and pointed out that it was gone just to berate our daughter until she cried. My sister and her husband's dad came over this afternoon and they changed the locks. I've texted him to tell him that he isn't coming back and that he can come on Saturday morning to grab his essential things, but that my bro-in-law and another man would be there to watch. Sorry if this is unclear if things seem missing. This Reddit post isn't super my priority. I will probably not be updating again. Thank you to everyone who has worried about my safety.
That pisses me off on a personal level, because I remember my father used to take my clothes and my toys to make fists and lures with. And to use my clothes as rags. Clothes that I was still wearing at a young age, by the way.
Yeah. Like, both of those scenarios are fucking awful, but somehow, some way, I find this one to be even worse, because that one is more like negligence. This one is, like, made because he wants to hurt them.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yeah, no, I see that.
Yeah, like, that's...
It pisses me off because this, first off, children's toys are expensive. Children's clothes are expensive. And it's your child and your wife. The wife is doing everything to make sure you have your own space, and she has her own space.
He's
actively going out of his way to ruin their time.
He actively killed her plans.
Wrong.
He actively killed her plans, so that way. And then he said because he wanted to knock her down a peg. And
because he probably didn't feel like he was in enough control.
Pretty much.
This is how narcissistic idiots get control.
Yeah.
By sabotaging their partner and their, sadly, children.
Yeah.
And making them feel like they're worse, like they're stupid, and like they're this other stuff.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Like everything you said is pretty much true, but it's like I don't know what else to say here. Like, this is just like, because with the other ones it's like, oh, this guy's such an idiot, but this one it's just like, oh, this guy's like just a fucking... He's
just a bad person.
He's just a fucking crazy person.
Yeah, he's just an asshole.
He's just a...
There's no... It's sad, too, because it's like his kid's going to have to grow up now wondering why she has supervised visitation with him.
Yeah, I know.
Because God knows you don't want to put yourself in a bad light. But also, if he's the pompous prick that he seems to be putting himself out as, he's going to be telling that girl a bunch of lies.
Pretty much. So, we do have some comments here. This person commented, I don't know your partner. Hopefully you do, but proceed with great caution. You may want to give this a read. To which he links, I found out my partner has been putting slugs in my food. I don't know how to forget. What the fuck? Okay, I'm going to save that for one other day.
God, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
The one story you showed me.
Oh, the sawdust.
The food. Yeah, the sawdust thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I get bugs have some extra protein, but my God, what the hell?
Don't put anything in anybody's food without them knowing. That's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like that's once again, it's another sense of control.
That's a new level. That's a new level of fuckery right there. Is when you go out your way to fucking
put sawdust in someone's food, and it's like, well, places put No, they put the chemical, like, what's it called? The stuff, like, it's in sawdust technically, but it's like they're not using actual sawdust. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is it glucose? I don't know. But
I think so.
There was another comment here that says, That's disturbing. I can't think of a single reason to kill your plants that isn't creepy, controlling, or otherwise unhealthy. It feels like he resented the time or attention you gave the plants, maybe. I don't think I'd feel safe around him either, or having your child around him. Is there somewhere safe you can go for a while you try to work out if you want to salvage the relationship? Don't salvage the relationship. No, like, get a divorce. He's a psychopath.
Here's the thing. I don't know if she's in the United States, but from the sounds of it, she got a lot from her mother. She has good relatives and friends that are helping her. I would highly recommend staying in one place. You don't want to make it obvious that something's wrong.
Yeah.
And the kid will be better knowing that there's not going to be someone yelling at her because, oh, you misplaced your Barbie doll. What is it, a 6-year-old? 5-year-old?
I have no idea. Probably somewhere around there, to be honest.
You don't do that with a kid. It's a kid.
Yeah.
Ideally, you start slowly teaching kids about chores and values over property and whatnot as they get older. So around about 7 or something, you'd be teaching them, hey, make your bed when you go up. Hey, when you make a couple years later, hey, when you make your bed, make sure you clean up the rest of your room. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't throw shit at them immediately.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give it to you straight. This next update is from just over 7 days ago, and it involves he gets violent.
He tried to break into the house and do something, didn't he?
It's worse.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, so update. I've recently got some messages asking for me to update and let the internet know I'm safe. My daughter and I are both safe. Well, that's good. Without getting into too much detail, but to satiate the curious, my husband, the man I thought I knew, has changed so much that I think of it like him ripping off a mask. He's sworn at me, screamed at me, and pushed me to the ground twice and kicked me in the face. Our entire marriage, I was never ever afraid of physical violence from this man. The police have been involved. Divorce is still in progress. After an initial period of intense anger, my husband seemingly stopped caring at all, though. He said he doesn't want any custody and he wants to give up his parental rights of our daughter. He doesn't see her.
Good.
Well, that's good. In the last month, I have heard he actually has a new girlfriend. His parents still talk to me. I was on good terms with his mom. Also, a friend of my husband's who has been friends with him since college reached out to me to ask what is going on. We texted. He says my husband has been ghosting that entire group of friends he still had after someone in the group called him out for some sort of asshole-ish behavior. One positive thing that is also said is that my daughter is bright and wonderful. There has been such a profound change to her behavior since her dad's been gone. That's good. She's happy and silly and joyful. I guess there's been a change in both her and my behavior. I think of it like a frog in the boiling pot. I was sitting there boiling to my death and never realized. We lived in a house of walking on eggshells. If my husband was upset, he would infect the house with hostility. I'm not sure I can describe it. I was constantly on guard and never been able to relax. I was not afraid of physical violence, though, so I don't want to describe it as if it was something more serious than what it was. Well,
your body prepares you for that.
Yeah, but also he still...
As things boil down when it comes to these toxic households, your body slowly prepares for the next level, whether you believe it or not.
Yeah, that's pretty much my entire life. Thank you all for making me realize I was in that boiling pot. This sub says that I need to pose a question to post. What can I do for my daughter to let her know she's safe and loved always? I know I failed her whenever I heard her dad yelling at her about her dollhouse. I can say that I tried to step in at times when I heard what was going on, but that doesn't seem enough. I feel so guilty. She is on a waiting list for therapy. Our structure is still the same. She looks like she's thriving, but I just don't know.
The good thing is that you got her out of that situation, even if it was a bit later than you want to.
Yeah.
And that you're taking steps to make sure she has has good mental health.
Yeah.
And if she's starting to bubble up, then that's good. That means she's getting better from what happened. But still, therapy's a good idea. And in general, you're doing a good job by actually stepping out now rather than later.
Yeah, wow, that turned a whole 180. It's crazy how long people can like keep a mask on for and then just reveal themselves to be like the worst people in the world. Like this.
I've lived it, so I don't really. It's not hard for me to believe.
Like I know that it exists, definitely. I've dealt with people like that before, but it's still like I think of like it's crazy to see what people will become. So like so I don't know. It's fucking scary. It's like I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, damn, I can see why people don't trust people very easily, which, I mean, I'm one of those people, so, but...
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's fucking...
It's unnecessary and stupid. It's very fucking not right.
Yeah, we do have one top comment that says, Thank you for updating. I'm so glad that you're out of the marriage. I'm so glad that your daughter is thriving. It's better to be raised by a single, happy, wonderful mom than having a miserable piece of shit of a father in her life. I know this whole thing is excruciatingly difficult, but you are doing great. Keep pushing forward one day at a time, at a time, and maybe consider therapy. And from one plant lover to another, may you rebuild your green oasis soon.
Yeah. If there's one thing I understand now and I take to heart when I say this, it's better to grow up with one parent than two in some situations.
Yeah.
And if you need that female figure or that male figure, it will come in your life.
Yeah.
They will eventually show up. They don't have to be a parent or a sibling. They can be a friend or even someone that you consider a sibling.
Yeah.
You'll get what you need to know from them. But until that time comes, just understand that some things are meant to be.
Yeah.
And what's not meant to be is you living... Sorry.
No, you keep going.
And what's not meant to be is for you to grow up in a miserable household.
Mm-hmm.
If I could go back, I always want to grow up without a father figure.
Yeah.
Rather than just be where I was.
Mm-hmm. It's I don't know, it's a whole smorgasbord of shit. Like, obviously the opiates themselves are obviously going to go through a lot, but I'm hoping that since the daughter's a little bit younger, hopefully she's gonna, I know when she gets older she's gonna realize a lot of this stuff, but a part of me is also hoping that since they kind of caught it a lot earlier than other children out there, unfortunately, hopefully they'll be able to grow up with a little less sense of trauma and PTSD than others, you know? Which...
it seems like they caught early enough.
Yeah, which is what I'm hoping for.
There'll probably always be that sense of, hey, this is mine, and I am trying to keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's better than looking over your shoulder constantly. And it's better to grow up and then realize, oh, damn, that sucked. At least my mom got me out of that one.
Yeah. So the most I could say is, OP, if you're watching this, which they're probably not, I'm glad that you got out of that. Very much so. I'm very glad that both you and your daughter are okay now. Yeah, do not... I don't think I need to tell you this, but don't ever contact this man ever again. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. Jesus Christ, that guy is fucking evil.
For the love of everything, take that whole custody with a fucking grain of salt and make sure you check up on it every once in a while.
Yeah, we don't. You never know. All right. Well, let's move on to the next story. So this next story, fun fact, also has to do with parents.
God damn it.
But the thing is that it's nowhere near as bad as the other one, because the other one, like, someone got fucking, like, full-on physically abused, okay? Like, that was bad. This one is more like, wow, that sucks, but then it's like, who fucking needs them anyways, you know? You'll get what I mean. So, yeah, once again, this was posted to reposted to r/bestofredditorupdates, and it was originally posted into r/am I the asshole. But it was also posted to r/am I wrong. So, yeah, let's get to it. The title of this post is called, Am I Wrong for Refusing to Meet My Biological Mom in Person After I Signed Up for a DNA Testing Site?
No.
Yeah, no. This was posted on August 18th of 2024, and they put it in the reverse order, and they said mum instead of mom, but I think they did that in the last story, so both of these stories are from Europe. I guess that's interesting. So let's get to it. I'm a 24-year-old male who was adopted when I was 6 years old. I've always felt incredibly lucky because my adopted parents, who were in their late 20s when they took me in, have been nothing short of amazing. They loved and supported me as if I were their own flesh and blood, and I've never felt like anything was missing in my life because of being adopted. Growing up, I had very minimal details about my adoption. I know that I was removed from my biological family by social services due to neglect and abuse, but I don't remember anything about my life before I was adopted. It's not something I've dwelled on much because I never felt like I needed those missing pieces to feel complete or valued. Recently, out of simple curiosity, I decided to sign up for one of those at-home DNA testing kits. I wasn't looking for a reunion or any deep connection. It was just to know more about my genetic history, like why was I removed from my biological family, and if there were any medical issues that I should be aware of. Honestly, I didn't expect to find anyone closely related to me, so it felt like a low-stakes way to get some answers.
Honestly, valid.
Yeah.
It's completely valid, especially for the health and stuff.
Yes.
That's really good to know.
About 8 weeks after sending off the kit, I finally remembered to check the results, and to my surprise, I matched with my biological mother. She's going to be called BM for the rest of the story. She had sent me a message saying that she was overjoyed that I had done the test and that she had desperately wanted to reconnect with me and the rest of my biological family. No. She mentioned that she's thought of me every day and that I was always loved, and even that I have a biological little brother who's very excited to meet me, something I didn't even know. Her message was really emotional and, to be honest, overwhelming. To me, she's a complete stranger, and reading those words didn't stir anything in me other than discomfort. I spent a lot of time crafting a thoughtful response to BM, explaining that while I appreciated her message, I wasn't interested in forming a relationship with her or any of my biological family. I'm dying. I made it clear that my reason for doing the DNA test was purely informational. I wanted to understand my past, maybe get some medical history, and learn why I was removed, but that was it. I apologized if my actions gave her the wrong impression. BM read my message and replied, saying that she'd be willing to give me all the information I wanted, but only if I agreed to meet her at a cafe to discuss our relationship further. I refused, telling her that I wasn't comfortable with a face-to-face meeting. I offered a phone call as a compromise, but emphasized that I just wanted the information and then for both of us to move on with our lives. She outright refused to provide any information unless I agreed to meet with her in person and discuss our relationship. I talked to my best friend about this, and she sided with BM, saying that I was being unfair. She argued that by signing up for the DNA test, I had essentially opened the door to this kind of situation, refusing to meet with BM now is like playing mind games and leading them on. So am I the asshole for not wanting a relationship with my biological mom after I signed up for the DNA testing site? No.
No, you aren't, and that friend needs to get a grip because, no. Also, friend, it's amazing what simple Google search can do for information about someone. So don't take her, oh, well, I'm not going to give you the information if I'm not going to get to see you. Like, don't take that as blackmail or anything. You can, Google is so scarily accurate with some things.
Yeah, and then once you do that, you should go to the supermarket, go into the frozen section, and then get yourself a giant ass jug of shut up juice.
Or, go into your nearest field with your friend. You can find the elusive fuck to give and then give it to her.
Or you can go into the middle of that field and grab a golf club while it's storming, put it up in the air, and ask Zeus to strike you down. Come on, strike me down, Zeus. You don't have the ball.
How does this go from giving someone advice to playing with the gods themselves?
I don't know, but anyways, yeah, no, you're fine. Here's the thing:
you don't owe anyone anything.
Like, you don't owe this person anything, because here's the thing: they may be like, to quote Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, she may be your mother, but she ain't your mommy. No. He said daddy, technically, because it was his father. But you know what I mean. She may be your biological mom, but she's not your mom.
She doesn't owe you anything, especially if she put you in a situation where you could have been you clearly were taken away.
Yeah, you don't owe her anything, honestly. You don't owe her anything.
If anything, she owes you the explanation, but like all narcissists, we don't expect that from them.
No. So there are some comments, by the way. Of course, there's always comments here. Not the asshole. She's holding your info hostage to get you to meet with her, which is her being the asshole. You were removed for a reason. She probably wants to fill you with her version. Since you know her name, can you contact the agency that removed you to request the information? OP then responded, I could have always gone through the route of getting in touch with social services and seeing what they can tell me, though I am not sure how much they can share because of data protection, so I just thought it would be easier this way. Also, it would have been nicer to hear it from my family's perspective, if you get what I mean.
But you're not going to get truth out of that woman.
Oh, no. She's going to be like, well, I was dealing with some hard times, and I may or may not have accidentally thrown you in the oven. It was completely accidental, It was completely accidental. Don't tell anybody that it was on purpose, because it was completely by accident. I didn't mean to do it. Okay?
Oh, no.
It's like, no, I don't know about that. It's like saying that, like, when someone gets stabbed, that it was like, no, I was just trying to tickle them with a knife a little bit. It's like, no. Something happened here. There's a reason he got removed.
Yeah, because children don't just, at least...
And that
doesn't happen with that doesn't happen lightly, And
that's not to say that there is, things where it's unfortunately, they just couldn't provide enough for this boy, and so they put him out for adoption, hoping that someone else can take him in. Because I feel like as if this mom was actually like a responsible parent and was actually trying to find their son, I feel like she probably would have been like, hey, I know that it's been a long time. I don't know if you actually would really want to meet me, and I completely understand it, but I would like to get in touch.
We already know what's going on here.
Yes, like, you can tell by her writing, you're just like...
Even without the writing, we've already told this was
there was something going on in that house.
Yeah.
Another commenter then wrote, as a fellow adoptee, I vote not the asshole without question. You don't owe her anything. I'd argue she owes you information, though, something she did to cause the adoption to happen, and she's awful for holding that information hostage. Your friend is completely in the wrong, and if they aren't adopted, I'm not surprised about their opinion. A lot of the non-adopted people have this weird opinions on how adoptees should feel and act. Classic one being that we should all feel grateful for our adopted parents because they saved us. Obi then responded, no, they are not adopted, which may explain their perspective. They did annoy me, though, calling me unfair for not having a relationship with them, despite the fact that it's not something I ever wanted. It was unfortunate that BM saw I was on there and messaged me first, and I feel bad that it may have given her false hope. I wish I could have been the first to message her to get it out of the way, get it out there right away, what I was expecting. But you didn't need to message her in the first place. Honestly, no one needed to message. You could have just lived your life.
This is something she's doing for money.
Probably. Another commenter then said, not the asshole, fellow adoptee here. I did meet my birth mother when I was 16 years old, and I spent the following 16 years regretting it. Mine is selfish and manipulative and pulled the same trick. I'll tell you everything when I see you. Nope, do not engage. Half of what she told me was outright lies, and she's desperately trying to wedge herself into my life at every opportunity when I made it clear I did not want her. How does it feel to be unwanted, egg donor? Welcome to my world. I'm an adult. I have my own children now. My parents were wonderful people. I didn't have the best life ever or anything, but I was raised by people who loved me and wanted the best for me. It's hard. Your BM has expectations and you have different ones. The thing is, she's being unrealistic and unreasonable by holding the info you want hostage. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. It's not right of her and it's not fair to you. OP then responded, I understand that what she should have told me wouldn't have likely been the objective truth, but I was interested in hearing it from her anyways. In some ways, I suppose I was a little curious about her and her life, but I didn't want a relationship with her at this point in my life. But that wouldn't have been me saying never, and she didn't tell me how old her other son is, but depending, I would have possibly been willing to meet him at least. The fact that she tried to force my hand has left a really sour taste in my mouth and has made the whole thing icky. I think I have decided that I'm going to write her a final message about how I didn't appreciate being told that I would not be allowed that information if I did not meet up with her and discuss a relationship with her. I think I will say it comes across as manipulative, and that is what puts the final nail in the coffin that I certainly don't want anything to do with her. But does that seem too much? I'm not going overboard by saying that to her, am I? No. It's your life. She doesn't know you.
Sadly, I get the morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
Like that's something that does hit hard in some places because God, but like when things happen to you, there are just times you really want to know what was going through the other person's head when stuff happened.
There's a reason why you can't really read people's minds, unfortunately, because they're not going to tell you the truth.
Yeah, like I'm not talking about reading people's minds, but I am saying like it would fucking be lovely to be able to know what was going on.
Yeah, but they're not going to tell you.
Yeah. Because they're manipulative bastards.
Yeah. And this is the final comment and final reply. I honestly find it a bit concerning that she is using blackmail to get her away, completely ignoring how you feel. You are not comfortable meeting her, and that is your right, and it is okay. You decided, despite not wanting to give her a phone call instead. She still refused. As I said, I am concerned. She doesn't have your best interest at heart, only what she wants, and I get she wants to meet you, but the only thing she is doing is driving you away with her demand/blackmail. I am so sorry. Opie then responded...
my guess... Sorry.
No, go.
My guess is that she only wants to get in touch because of
money
or child support.
Yeah.
Like being able to have her son take care of this kid.
Yeah. OP then responded, it does seem that way to me. I feel better knowing that I wasn't being blind, though it certainly was being naive to think that she would just give me all the information I was looking for. The fact she is giving me demands makes me more certain that I don't want to meet her. And the extra thing is I may have been open to a potential in real life meeting at some point in the future if she didn't try to force me. But now she has. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty confused at the minute. Depending on the age of the son, I may be willing to have some contact with him. But again, it definitely wouldn't be an in real life thing right away.
Be careful there.
Yeah, I don't even know if she has a son, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just not worth the drama.
No. So we do have another update. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, let's get to it. This was posted on August
Yeah.
27th, 2024. Hey everyone, it's been about 9 days since I last posted, and I thought it was time for an update. I really want to thank everyone who took the time to comment and offer advice. I've read through everything, and it's been both helpful and eye-opening. So after all the advice and some serious thinking, I decided to talk to my biological mom again. God damn it. Hoping that maybe if I explained myself better, she'd understand where I was coming from. Unfortunately, things went downhill fast. Instead of trying to meet me halfway, she just got more manipulative, insisting I was being selfish for not wanting to meet her in person. She refused to give me any information unless I agreed on her terms, which was a hard no from me. I've come to realize that I was pretty naive to think that my biological family might be decent people after everything. I mean, I was removed from their care for a reason, but I guess a part of me wanted to believe that people can change. Looking back, I feel kind of dumb for even starting this whole journey. It brought up a lot of emotions I wasn't prepared to deal with, and to be honest, I'm feeling pretty down about the whole situation. As for my best friend, well, that's another disappointment. She didn't just side with my biological mom initially, she's been supportive throughout this whole mess. Even after I told her about the latest conversation, she couldn't really understand why I was so upset. She kept saying that I should just give them a chance and not be so harsh. It's like she doesn't get how hard this is for me, and I'm starting to feel like she never really did. It's tough because I've always considered her one of my closest friends, but right now I'm not sure if she's someone I can rely on. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Like, I feel bad because it sounds like is he a guy?
Yeah, he's a guy.
Okay. It's sad because it feels like the more I hear about this, the more I feel like his friend is a bit privileged.
Oh yeah, it's like that scene in the Batman where
'Cause-
like Batman's all like she got in ties with the wrong people or whatever. It's her fault, and she's like, okay, clearly you grew up rich because like people don't just turn to crime for fun sometimes.
At the same time, it's like my experience with people who don't have to worry about anything, people who haven't come to that point in their life where there is something to worry about or something bad has happened to them, they're always a certain amount of naivety that's not even just like, oh yeah, I've never been there, but I can understand why it's bad. No, it's a straight up, why are you acting like this? Like, she can't be that bad. Like,
Yeah.
you're being selfish here. Yes, he's emotionally manipulating you here, but like, give her a chance. Like, it's like they can't see between the lines.
No. After all of this, I decided to sit down with my adopted parents and talk everything over. I hadn't really opened up to them about how deep this was affecting me, but they were amazing as always. They were upset when they heard about how my biological mom was acting, and they reassured me that none of this is my fault. They reminded me that there's a reason I was removed from that situation and that it's not on me to fix or make things right with people who have clearly not changed. Talking with them made me realize just how lucky I am to have them. They've been there for me every step of the way, and they've made it clear that whatever happens, they're my real family, the ones who loved me and supported me no matter what. It's hard not to feel down after everything that's happened, but having them in my corner makes it a bit easier to cope. Honestly, I regret even starting this whole DNA journey. It brought up more pain than I expected, and I can't help but just wish that I left the past where it belongs. But at the same time, I'm grateful that it reminded me of how blessed I am to have my adopted parents. They're the ones who have always been there for me, and I couldn't ask for a better family. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to focus on the people who truly care about me and let go of the rest. It's not easy, but I know that I'm on the right path. Thanks again to everyone who reached out. It's really helpful for me to feel less alone in all this. Take care, everyone.
That's good.
So there is another update, but this doesn't involve the mom anymore. This was just something that he wanted to throw in.
I don't have to say God damn it.
No. If anything, you're gonna feel really happy hearing this.
Okay.
This is just a little thing that he wanted to add on. So I believe this was the same day, and this post was specifically titled "My Favorite Memory." Hey everyone, I've been thinking a lot about my family today, especially after everything that's been going on lately. It got me reminiscing about some of my best moments I've had with them, and there's one memory that stands out from something when I was a little kid that I'll never forget. I must have been about 8 years old, just a couple of years after I was adopted. It was around Christmas time, and I remember feeling nervous because it was only my second Christmas with my adopted parents. Holidays always make me feel weird, even now. Anyways, my dad's friend owned a Christmas tree farm, and that year my mom and my dad decided to take me to pick our Christmas tree. We spent what felt like hours walking through rows and rows of trees. My parents kept asking me which one I liked the best, and I remember feeling so much pressure, like I had to pick the absolute best one or else I'd ruin Christmas, but they were so patient, letting me take my time. Finally, I pointed out a tree. Honestly, it looked like every other one to me, but my parents made a big deal out of it. My dad knelt down and started sawing. I remember him pretending to struggle, saying, "Oh no, I think this tree might be too strong for me." My dad made me come over and help him, saying that he couldn't do it alone. So there I was, this little 8-year-old pretending to help my dad saw down this tree. Of course, I wasn't actually doing anything, but they made me feel like I was the strongest kid in the world. When the tree finally fell, my dad swept me up in his arms and spun me around, saying, "We did it!" After we got home, we set up the tree. My mom brought out these old boxes full of ornaments. She told me that we were going to start a new tradition. Every year, we'd pick out one new ornament to add to the tree, something that represented something special from that year. That night, they handed me my very first ornament, a little wooden bear holding a heart with the word family carved into it. My mom said, "This one's for you, because you made our family complete." I remember holding that ornament, feeling this huge wave of love and belonging that I'd never really felt before. At the time, I don't even think it hit me on how impactful it was, how that moment defines the way I look at myself today. I was part of a loving family. I was their family. Every Christmas after that, we'd pull out that wooden bear and hang it up first. It became our tradition. The reason I've been thinking about this memory today is because it's a reminder of how lucky I am to have the parents I do. They didn't just give me a home, they gave me a sense of belonging, and they gave me love. Even with everything that's been going on, I know that I've got something really special, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Anyway, thanks for letting me share this. I just need to remind myself how amazing my family is, and I hope it brings a smile to your face like it does to mine.
That's good.
And that's why I chose this, because despite everything that fucking sucked in this story, to me, that ending made it all the worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, your biological mom, I'm glad that he's not going to contact her anymore. And from what it seems like, dude, you already got your great parents right here.
You already have a great family. I get looking back to all that for healthcare and whatnot to make sure you don't have some genetic disorder, because one thing I know for a fact, you need blood work and other notes from your biological parents to figure out if you have a genetic disorder. Yeah. Well, most times there are exceptions, but for some, you do need the biological parent to sniff that out. And if you don't jump on it soon enough, it can ruin your life.
Yeah.
So I do get that.
Yeah.
I also get that once you have that information, Google is your best friend. And other sites. Might not be the best, but sure as hell better than getting in contact with someone who just wants to fuck you over more.
Pretty much. But, yeah, that was pretty much it. Is there anything else you would like to add for this episode?
I'm happy he has a good family.
Yes. And also I'm glad that the other family, aka the mom and the daughter, are out of there.
Yes.
Well, I guess that's pretty much it then. Thank you to everyone for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Lynn's, all these stories, including Lynn's socials, will be linked in the description below. Go check them out if you will. And maybe we'll see you guys again sometime soon. And remember, stay safe and sane.